What's up, Taiwan? Good evening and happy Lantern Festival. I'm Leslie Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan recorded 5 local cases of COVID-19 on Tuesday and 40 imported ones. Taiwan's government says it's confident in its COVID prevention measures, and as more people get their booster shots, the country will begin relaxing COVID restrictions. Bing Wang reports.
Starting Tuesday, these people at a cinema in Taiwan's capital of Taipei will be able to enjoy a popcorn with their movie. It's a part of a citywide easing of COVID restrictions, which have been in place since the start of the month. Taipei's mayor believes the city has transmissions under control.
在过去8天当中，我们台北市没有出现所谓不明感染源的案例哈，所以如果用这个标准的话，我们目前台北市的社区是干净的。
In addition to eating in cinemas, crowd limits at social education venues will be lifted. These places include the Taipei Zoo, museums, and senior learning centers. Taiwan is also planning to change quarantine rules for people entering the country. Health Minister Chen Sizong says this could happen next month.
好，那放宽的方向啊，就跟大家讲，这缩短我们检疫的天数为10天，加上7天的自主健康管理。 然后第二个哈，我们要从这个全部都是在这种集中式的防疫旅馆或集中检疫所的，转换成开放1人1户和防疫旅馆，均可以作为居家检疫之处所的选择。
The country's borders have been closed since March 2020, but to help with business development, the government will soon allow business travelers back in.
都在防疫旅馆不同的进口的通道，然后相隔距离很远，口罩戴好，隔板戴好，那都可以来做一些产品的介绍、公司的介绍，然后对大家商务上需求的互谈。
The entry ban on migrant workers from Vietnam and the Philippines will also be removed. Previously, only migrant workers from Thailand and Indonesia were permitted to enter Taiwan. With COVID cases under control and more than 75% of the population fully vaccinated, health officials are easing restrictions, confident that Taiwan can contain any future outbreaks. James Raynor and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's domestically produced COVID-19 vaccine Medigen has received emergency use authorization in Paraguay after the unblinding of a clinical trial conducted in the South American country. The trial found that Medigen generated an average of 3.7 times as many neutralizing antibodies as the AstraZeneca vaccine, and there were no serious adverse reactions reported. So far, Paraguay and Taiwan are the only countries to have granted the Medigen vaccine emergency approval. However, it is accepted for travel to several other countries. Medigen is also being tested as part of the World Health Organization's Phase 3 Solidarity trial that could pave the way for wider approval for the vaccine. Medigen CEO Charles Chen says preliminary results from the trial could be unblinded by late March or early April, with the trial ending in the first half of this year. A satellite jointly developed by Taiwan, India, Singapore, and the United States was launched from a space center in eastern India on Monday. InspireSat-1 successfully began transmitting signals after leaving its carrier rocket and entering the Earth's orbit. The team behind the satellite says it will help scientists understand more about the Earth's upper atmosphere. Taiwan hopes to become an important contributor to future space programs, according to the country's Ministry of Science and Technology. Beef and dairy produce from Lithuania could be coming to stores in Taiwan. China banned several imports from the European country last week, including beef, dairy, and beer. Beijing's decision comes after Lithuania allowed Taiwan to open a representative office under the name Taiwanese in its capital Vilnius last year. Lithuania has applied for these goods to be sold in Taiwan instead, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has received these requests.
外交部已经协助转达他们的需求给相关的主政机关。 未来，我们也将持续全力协助立陶宛应处中国的经济霸凌，共同捍卫国际贸易秩序的稳定。
More than 1,000 sky lanterns were launched on Tuesday night in the northern town of Penghu. Bad weather and COVID-19 restrictions were not enough to keep people from celebrating the annual Lantern Festival. Rick Glauert brings us a first-person account.
It's Yuan Xiaojie, or Lantern Festival, the final day of Lunar New Year celebrations here in Taiwan. And we're in the hills above New Taipei City, where hundreds of people are gathering to watch more than 1,000 sky lanterns being set off. Sky lanterns date back centuries, and the slight drizzle and COVID-19 restrictions have not dampened tonight's festivities. People will write their auspicious greetings onto the sky lanterns and send them heavenwards to bring good luck for the year to come.
Although lanterns are an obvious part of, well, the Lantern Festival, as Philip Rossard explains, there are some other unique ways of celebrating the holiday in Taiwan.
People usually run away from firecrackers, but here in the southern city of Tainan, the crowds put on raincoats and motorcycle helmets and get as close as they can. This is the Yanshui Beehive Fireworks Festival, a tradition that's been around for more than 100 years. But this year, the crowds are noticeably smaller than in the past.
以前是连让外国人啊什么，然后像这个时候这个时间早上的时间，你就可以看看满街都是人，然后现在就冷冷清清，那因为疫情暂时也没办法。
Traditionally, crowds of people carry local deities through the streets on palanquins, but this year, the procession was canceled due to COVID.
无了紧个无迄个气氛啦，但是嘛是，咱是主要是对心灵啦。
Believe it or not, the very first time this festival took place was also during an outbreak, not of COVID-19, but of cholera. And even though the global pandemic kept the crowds away this year, they've still set off around 2 million explosives, a call to the gods to sweep the virus away. In northern Taiwan, a very different way of celebrating the Lantern Festival. It's the cleansing of the harbor in Liao, New Taipei. A running jump, and the statue of a local deity is doused in the ocean.
那这可以说是传承100年的一个宗教的一个活动。
The purpose is to ward off evil and bring peace to the nation. As with people in other parts of Taiwan, the pandemic is not far from people's minds.
祈求疫情赶快退散，也希望台湾能够平安。
While the pandemic has certainly had an impact on Lantern Festival celebrations this year, one thing is for sure. The people of Taiwan are hoping the celebrations will have an even bigger impact on the pandemic. Rick E. and Philip Rossard for TaiwanPlus.
All right, so far we've got lanterns, firecrackers, deities jumping in the water. Well, in Taiwan's Penghu Islands, they're celebrating the Lantern Festival with some unusual turtles. Louise Watt reports.
A turtle made of gold bricks. On Penghu, the Lantern Festival is a chance to get creative. Temples make turtles for peace and good fortune, and people come to pray for blessings in the new lunar year.
在元宵节这段时间，它才是澎湖最热闹的一个事情。
People also come to ask the gods for answers using moon blocks. And if they fall in a particular formation, they get to take something home from this gold brick turtle. This year, turtles were made from rice and solar panels. One temple splashed out and made a turtle out of Ferrero Rocher chocolates.
红片菇呢枯燥乏味，所以它突发奇想，就用那个金沙龟代替那个红片菇。
Less extravagant but no less cute are these turtles made from brown sugar cakes and pineapple buns. Penghu's Lantern Festival celebrations are on all this week, and it's hoped that through the folk custom of praying to turtles, everyone will have a good year. Patrick Chen and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Leslie Liao. Finally, today we leave you with some pictures of the Lantern Festival in Taichung, central Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. See you next time, and again, happy Lantern Festival.